You know, the Caribbean region is so rich in culture and talent. Every Thursday, we travel across the region to meet new and interesting personalities. My guest on Caribbean Check-In this week is a violinist who hails from Trinidad. Welcome to Smile, Andre J. Donawa. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to start with how did your love and your knowledge of the violin begin? What was your introduction to the instrument?
Oh, it all started at the age of 5. You know, my cousin, who is a violinist, and my mom, she carried me to him, and she's like, "Hey, my son, he has, he seems to have an interest in music and so forth,
Yeah.
and that's from a very young age." So I went to him, he played the violin for me, and I was really enthralled with it.
Wow.
And I started at the age of 8. That's when my cousin from New York, he sent my first violin.
Wow.
And I've never stopped since.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple of us who were sent to piano lessons. Many of us never made it through to the end.
That's me myself.
Yeah. So
I started piano also, but violin was really my first, my love.
Your love. So when did you decide, though, that I want to put this love into a career, that music is really what I want to pursue?
To be honest, that was always, embedded in me in terms of I always saw myself as a musician. I always saw myself as a performer, even from that young age, and it all came to fruition when I did my concert with Marshall as a soloist.
Yes.
My career really took off from there.
Yeah. The thing I love about, for me, with the violin is there was a time when we heard the violin, it was mostly classical music.
Yeah.
But I've seen Caribbean artists take the violin and make it their own.
Yes.
You perform with Michelle, which tells me that you have your own style of playing the violin. What's that style?
My style is really unique. It's a fusion of classical, with a mix of contemporary and Caribbean elements. Hailing from the Caribbean, hailing from Trinidad and Tobago. It's embedded in my psyche in terms of, the culture, the music. So basically, I would have fused the classical with the contemporary and Caribbean and formulated my own style.
Yeah. How difficult is that?
I mean, for me, learning and creating new genres was really fun for me. So, it just came natural to me. I'm a very creative person. So, I really took the instrument and tried to see how far I could push, the threshold in terms of, experimenting with the instrument.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like people are so tied to their own genres that when you try to go in and give it a different sound or a different style, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing to Mackay son? Or spoil Mackay son or do that?" Yeah,
for sure. But I mean, I could flip it the other way around. When I started, I started with the orchestra in Trinidad, and the elders, found it to be very blasphemous that I was taking the classical instrument,
yes.
and playing soca and different things,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I heard you recently received a grant from an organization. Congratulations to you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, that's from Music TT, all right, and the Ministry of Trade and Industry. I received a grant to perform at my concert in Toronto, which I am presently at.
Wow. I'm reading here that it provides support and resources to catalyze the growth of the industry and ensure sustainability. Music TT. That must be great to know that the government has a program that is helping to, push your growth and development in music.
Yes, it's really encouraging. It's really encouraging, and I tend to take that and see how far I could carry the music internationally.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. How do you see this moment and this support from Music TT helping to advance your career?
Okay, well, basically for me, I've always seen myself as someone who would like to tour.
Yes.
Take the music worldwide.
Yes.
So this is my first installment in Toronto. So, I want to see if I can do this annually. Music TT and the government has really supported me and gave me that wind. You need the wings to really excel, you know, in terms of what I would like to do in the future with my music. You know, and ultimately, I would like to like establish, you know, a bursary scholarship fund where talented musicians like myself could really benefit from that.
Yeah, yeah. But I like that. You know, it's receiving and then planning to give back. And that's amazing.
Sure.
I'm listening to you play one of the songs that I had to tell Kes, man. I love Savannah Grass until I saw the Savannah and it took me out. You know,
that's a classic.
Yeah, it is a classic. So you played with Michelle, which is huge because Michelle, I believe, is just one of our Caribbean kings of music.
Sure.
Any other musicians that you think to yourself, oh, I'd like to collaborate with that musician. I'd like to play with that musician.
I would like to collaborate. There's a violinist, there's a cellist from Croatia by the name of Hausa.
Yes.
You know, I'd really like to collaborate with him. You know, that is the main person that I really have my eyes on in terms of internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must be cool to play the violin. I'm thinking, because when you said the cellist, I'm thinking, oh man, that means you can play among the best of the classics and you can play among the best of the soca giants and the dancehall giants and the pianos. It gives
for sure. You know, I consider myself very diverse in terms of, you know, the style of music I play. Yeah. You know, I'm a musical entity, so I try not to limit myself when it comes to styles, genres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any original music?
Yeah, of course. I collaborated with DJ Private Ryan. All right, so I have an original called No Strings Attached, which I released this year.
Yeah.
And also the Sweet Tooth Symphony rhythm. I'm also featuring on. And I'm actually first violinist to be featured on a soca rhythm. So that's pretty cool.
That is extremely cool. I'm telling you, the violin just kind of, I want to say the violin just kind of morphed for me. When I started hearing it playing so many different things and so many different genres, and the sound of it is so beautiful. I mean, for young musicians that are watching you now here in Jamaica, Andre, because we have a strong vocal in the Caribbean. Like if you're a singer, you're a singer, and everybody want to be a singer. But for those young instrumentalists who are seeing you now and seeing just how great you are and where your career is going, what are your words of advice to them?
Just believe in yourself, you know. Don't listen to the naysayers, as cliche as the songs, you know. Believe in yourself, work on your craft, you know, and hone your own style.
Yeah.
You know, and you really excel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of belief.
Mm-hmm.
Belief, dedication, a lot of practice, experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should get there.
Yeah. I was going to ask if that's probably one of the challenges. Like people will see the violin and think, how long is it going to take me to learn this instrument?
I mean, it's an intricate instrument, but you know, it all boils down to your passion.
Yeah.
You know, passion is what will fuel you to really cross that threshold in terms of mastery.
Yeah.
You know, where you wanna be, where you see yourself in next 3 years, maybe.
Correct.
You know, so it's one step at a time. One step at a time, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
But most important, at least I can speak for myself, it's a matter of passion, believing in yourself, dedication, you know, and you should be okay.
Keep breaking those boundaries, man. That's amazing. Where can we find you if we want to follow you? Know where you're playing?
You can follow me on Instagram at the Donadoni, or that's at the DONADONI, Andrew J. Donawa. My website, andrewjdonawa.com. Find me on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Andre. Looking forward to hearing you on some dancehall and reggae.
Yeah, for sure. You know, send them my way, man. Send them my way.
Got to make sure. It's great meeting you, and thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Trinidadian violinist Andre J. Donawa. That's our Caribbean check-in.